I don't think they're getting to the Super Bowl either, but that wasn't the question. The question is whether or not they should be the favorite at this particular moment in time in light of the fact that Drew Brees is going to be out for several weeks. And by that, I would say yes. Do I believe that means the Dallas Cowboys are going to the Super Bowl? Hell no. I'll sit up there. I'm not. This is personal with me. I'm not giving these Cowboy fans that. I'm not doing it. I'm just not doing it. I'm not dealing with it. I'm not dealing with it. I'm gonna hold on for dear life. I'm gonna hold on for dear life to them damn cockroaches that are Cowboy fans everywhere. Make me sick.
I have a point.
I can't stand Cowboy fans. They make me sick, and I'm not giving it to them. Hell
all right,
no.
Look. In the green room. Hold on, real quick. In the green room, I wrote down something. I said, is it time to give Jerry Jones his respect?
No, hold on. Yes, but that's not the issue. That's not change the point. That's not change the point, okay? Here's the deal. Drew Brees coming back, I think that the Saints at best are 3-3 without him, assuming he comes back after 6 weeks, okay? You're going to take some time. You're going to take your time to get your bearings under you. At the end of the day, I think Dallas is rolling. The Saints are struggling. They get to the postseason probably, but they won't have home field advantage. I think New Orleans loses in Dallas. I don't think they lose in New Orleans, but I think they lose in Dallas. Yeah. Whereas with the Eagles, I think the Eagles could take Dallas in Big D. But that does not mean that Dallas should not be the favorites, considering the way Dak is playing.
And they're healthy.
We know what Ezekiel is. And that defense, the Dallas Cowboys defense, let's give respect where it's due. The defense is real.
Yes.
It's real.
First of all, it is time to give Jerry Jones respect. Think about the moves he's made the last couple years, right?
Stephen Jones, you mean?
Jerry Jones.
Yeah, but Jerry Jones was getting away.
Family.
All right, but here,
did you know that Jerry Jones is my friend?
That's your friend? Oh, that's your friend. So why are you crushing him like that? That's not friendship.
That's what he does.
That's not friendship.
I said Cowboys fan.
No, you need help. You need help.
Cowboys
that's not
fan.
friendship. Anyways, back to your question, Mark.
Says he's your friend. Run.
Dallas, they are contenders.
That's
why? Because it's simple. It's a simple equation. They have a quarterback that will eliminate the mistakes in critical situations. They have a running game, and they have defense. So, yes, they are a contender. You're wrong on that. Both of you guys are wrong.
Who said they weren't contenders?
You said they weren't. You said they're not
Dallas
going.
Cowboys?
That's what you
I
said.
said they're not going to the Super Bowl. Who said they're not
contenders? That's what we're calling
contenders?
contenders.
The question is, are they the favorites in the NFC?
Okay, all right. Here's the other thing. You have the Rams, the Hawks, the Lions, and the Packers. No, they're not the favorites. They're not the favorites, but you got some other teams in the NFC that are really playing amazing football. The Seattle Seahawks. Pay attention to this team, man. Pay attention to this team. This team is really strong. I think the Hawks are the favorites in the NFC, but Dallas,
Brandon,
they're a real deal.
Think about what you're saying. Like, what does it really come down to? You say quarterback running game. The real thing, shorthand in the NFL, if you want to know the successful franchise, is quarterback coach. That's the combination you're really looking at. Seattle, quarterback coach. You have top 5, both spots.
What's wrong with Jason Garrett?
Jason Garrett? You mean the Jason Garrett who they draft Ezekiel Elliott, top 5, a running back, top 5. You can't do it. He actually outperforms expectations. You're 4th and 1 midfield, and you punt.
Max.
Like that Jason Garrett?
Hey, Max, here's where you're wrong. It's not about Jason Garrett anymore. It's about Kellen Moore. Jason Garrett is not getting in the way of Kellen Moore running that offense. Jerry Jones replaced Chan Gilly with him for a reason. And Jerry Jones is not going to let Jason Garrett get in the way. And by the way, Jason Garrett has had his opportunities. He's come up short, and now he's focused on trying to keep his job. So if the owner that is Jerry Jones wants this man to defer to Kellen Moore, who's doing an outstanding job in the first 2 weeks, calling plays for this offense. Remember, they went from a ground attack to an aerial assault. This is what they want to do now in Dallas, and it coincides with trying to validate whether or not Dak deserves his money in their eyes. We all believe he deserves his money. But the point is, with all of that going on, Jason Garrett ain't getting in the way of that because Jason Garrett trying to get his money.
That may be right.
His new contract. So keep bringing up Jason Garrett. But
Kellen Moore may make him look like a good coach. I want to say one more thing. The Cowboys right now give that impression largely because of health, too. In critical spots, the Cowboys are largely healthy. They returned the offensive line, which hasn't been healthy in a couple years, which is why 2-3 years ago it's the best in the league. And since then it's been good because they're so talented, but it's been hurt, right? They're healthy. The defense, like everywhere you look, you have a healthy player. It's early. Right now, the Eagles are all banged up. New Orleans looks like they're in bad shape. But timing of health and injuries could play a big factor here. I would not anticipate they're going to be like this all season.
But take health out of it.
That's why you got to take it week to week. But no, everything you're saying is true. But I mean, it could turn like that. Look at the Saints yesterday. Drew Brees, his thumb. Now he's out. They're saying 6 weeks. It's actually going to be longer, I believe, right? Because he's not going to come back and be Drew Brees.
Right.
He's going to be rusty. But
by the way, I said Kellen Moore replaced. I didn't mean Chan. I meant Scott Linehan.
Right, sure, Linehan.
Scott Linehan.
Yeah.
Scott
No,
Linehan. Go ahead.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like in the NFL, it's week to week. You have a few teams. You have a few teams that won't mess it up, right? You'll beat yourself when you go into a New Orleans with Drew Brees healthy, to a New England Patriots, right? There's some teams that they just get it right, but everyone else is week to week.
Well,
right?
do me a favor. Let me ask you a question. Let me put you on the spot.
Yep.
So let's say, for example, you still a member. Hypothetically speaking, you still a member of the Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
All right. When you look at the NFC, who would you view as the #1 team to be worried about?
The division or just the entire NFC?
The conference.
Okay.
The NFC conference. Who would be the #1 team you'd be worried about? Would it be the Cowboys or would it be somebody else?
I'm looking at the Seattle Seahawks.
Thank you.
I'm looking at the Seattle Seahawks.
Thank you.
You think their defense is still as good?
It's efficient.
Yeah,
it's
solid.
efficient. Russell Wilson, he's a player.
Yeah.
Now you add in a passing attack. Last year they ran the ball.
Yeah.
People really don't know this, but Seattle really didn't pass the ball great last year. They had Tyler Lockett just throwing bombs up. He'll have 3 catches. 2 of them were 60-yard bombs. They didn't pass the ball great. Look what he just did in Pittsburgh. I know their secondary is banged up and beat up and not really good right now, but Seattle is now passing the ball. You bring in
there's
this
no
rookie.
Doug Baldwin, so you're targeting Tyler Lockett more.
Correct.
Yeah.
So now you have a running game, and you have a pass attack, and you have an
What's the
efficient
difference, really?
defense.
I mean, I agree about the defense. The real difference is, again, like with the Cowboys, they didn't invest in the offensive line for a long time, even starting with the Jimmy Graham trade for Max Unger. They've been doing it recently. It finally added up. They're decent there. They're like solid up front.
Yeah.
And then that makes a difference. Passing game, running game, everything. I agree. I think Seattle is live.
We still have 3 more weeks for our first true test for the Cowboys, though, because they have Dolphins next week, then they have the Saints without Drew Brees, and then they have the Packers. Thank you so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.